journal. I was seeking God, but it felt like all these bad things kept happening. I questioned God. Why am I going through all of this? What am I supposed to learn? I remember standing just right down here one Sunday, and the worship team was singing that tidal wave song. And as we sang, I could feel those words so deeply. God said, family first. I questioned everything from my career to who was in my life. If I would just block everyone out, then I wouldn't have to hurt. I could go back to being who I was. Then I thought about one of our church sayings, life isn't meant to be done alone. I wanted to be angry and mad and bitter. And Pastor Kelly had said during that sermon, 11 and Psalm 46:10 is what God spoke to me. For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope. In those days when you pray, I will listen. He said, be still and know that I am God. And I stayed connected to my church family, accountability team, and sponsors. I stayed in my prayer journal and continued my devotions. When my sponsor accountability team would make suggestions or offer advice, I would implement what they were saying. My son's behavior was getting more difficult to deal with. In August of last year, I felt like God was telling me it was time to slow down and focus on my family. I reconnected with my now husband, and he knows that God is first. We talked about blending our families and the challenges we could face. We decided we were ready to have a relationship the right way, and in December last year, we got married. My son didn't accept this very well. He did some very hurtful things toward me and my husband. We decided to start him in counseling. I was offered a new position in my store. I was ready to say yes to what God has for me and my family. And that decision didn't come easy because I felt like I was giving up my dreams. God said, you're just taking a detour. Looking back, I feel like I tried to wrestle with God and He won. This new role would allow me to focus on my family and not ever have to work a Sunday. Saying yes didn't mean things got easier. In December, I made a commitment to the leadership team here and God that I was going to focus. This year, my goal was to focus on my family, but I didn't ask to be quarantined with them. Not at all. And it's kind of funny because I even told God, I was like, really? This is what we're doing? We have faced many challenges and emotions this last 6 months. Our two oldest kids, they either like each other or they don't.